All right, let's go to Super Chat. Kenyatta again says, I would love to see Cenk do a surrounded Jubilee episode like Mehdi Hassan. Well, ask and ye shall receive. That'll be coming out soon. I debated 20 people, 10 Republicans, 10 Democrats. Populist takes on the Uniparty. So, ought to be a doozy. So coming out soon. Sage and Candle.
He's about to respond to another interesting piece of criticism, but what's your reaction to that? He says he's debating 10 people on the left, 10 people on the right, and then implies that they're all just part of the same blob. He's like, oh, that's me versus the Uniparty. So I'm like, we'll have to see if that's true. I imagine that between the right wingers and the 10 right wingers and the 10 left wingers, there's quite a bit of disparity between their thoughts and opinions. But who knows? Maybe they're all just establishment bootlickers and Cenk's the only populist. We'll see.
He probably had a hell of a hangover when it was over 20 beers. I mean, that's a lot for anybody. Cenk's a big guy, but you drink 20 beers with those people after a Jubilee. That'll fuck you up for days. And I have to say, I think it's really funny. It's poetic in a sense. I feel like Cenk just can't get ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? Because everybody celebrated universally Sam Cedar's performance on Jubilee. I guarantee you Cenk saw it. He was like, oh, I want to do that. I would imagine that was around the time where it started to creep into Cenk's brain, like, oh, I want to do a Jubilee too. And to be honest, I think under the right circumstances, Cenk is the kind of guy who could effectively debate 1v20 because he's very confident in his beliefs. He is well informed and he's a good speaker. So I would, from that, platform, be like, yeah, no, this actually makes sense for Cenk to do. But I just think it's hilarious that after Mehdi went on, everyone was like, you know what, fuck Jubilee, we shouldn't do this anymore. They're just platforming Nazis and they're trying to make it seem like everybody has the same politics and the left is just as bad as the right and they're all evil. This is bullshit. And then you start seeing a bunch of high profile figures on the left be like, I turned down Jubilee because I didn't want to fucking engage with these fascists, or moving forward, fuck off with Jubilee, right? So I just think it's hilarious that right as Cenk decides, you know what, now's my time to shine, I actually am going to be really good at this, the left has moved on and been like, we don't know about Jubilee anymore.
Yeah, which, by the way, I don't actually agree with that criticism of Jubilee. The whole like, oh, they're normalizing fascism and platforming fascists and like making it seem like these are two sides of the argument. It's like, well, bro, this is America, and that is the way a lot of Republicans actually think. So I don't actually mind the fact that they're kind of ripping the mask off people like that, which does lead to a lot of normies being like, whoa, what? This guy just said what? He said white people are Native Americans and that he's okay with literal fascism? Okay, well, at least the mask has been ripped off. At least they don't just get to pretend to be the nice grannies at the church bake sale who really care about kids, because that's the image the Republican Party wants you. Oh, we're just community members who go to church and care about the kids and protecting the children. No, they're fucking fascists. They're Nazis. And the people in those Jubilee videos are pretty open about that.
Yeah, I have a tendency to agree with you. I think that, some of these people are deranged. And while I don't think that Jubilee is at all interested in helping the greater good.
They're not trying to heal the country. That's what they
claim. Obviously not. They're interested in engagement farming. And obviously I think there are legitimate, criticisms that you could make about
very Piers Morgan coded, the kind of drama,
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, it is in its sense a more contained version of the Piers Morgan show. And I think a lot of people are willing to go on the Piers Morgan show. So I think it's a little bit, intellectually inconsistent to be like, I won't go on Jubilee, but I would go on Piers Morgan. And the reality is like, obviously they're not going to set you up for success if your ideas are what our ideas are. They're going to kind of try and make you look like a crazy person. The challenge is going in there and making everybody else look like a crazy person. And that's what I thought Mehdi Hassan did such a great job of, right? Like,
those people did it to themselves. They didn't even have to fucking be prompted. They were just like, hi, I'm a fascist and you're a brown person, so go away.
True. Yeah. Those people were particularly unhinged. Maybe Sam Cedar's appearance was a better example, but you go out there and they're like, oh, we're going to debate this crazy lefty. And then you make the audience think like, wow, actually that guy was the reasonable dude. And all these people are just mask off fascists.
Yeah. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it for sure. Like I get that there's some good faith critiques of it, but ultimately I just feel like, at this point, Donald Trump is the president for the second time. Or is anyone really in denial about the depravity of some of our neighbors' beliefs and ideologies? Like to just act like it doesn't exist is stupid. And I actually think it's a good thing when someone who's capable as Mehdi Hassan or Sam Cedar gets the opportunity to challenge those insidious ideologies and kind of debunk them in a viral format.
Oh, 100%. I also like it because the left has this problem where everybody thinks we're like pussies that'll just melt down whenever there's a
Yep.
little bit of scrutiny. And I like that guys like Mehdi Hassan, Sam Cedar, and I'll reserve my judgment, guys, because there is a decent chance that Cenk says a lot of shit that I agree with in his Jubilee. Like I am not,
especially if it's about Palestine. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. So again, I have massive disagreements with Cenk, but I think his foreign policy is pretty sharp, and I think that he even had better analysis than Jordan Ewell did on the AOC vote. So I'll give credit where credit's due. I'll reserve my judgment, but I just thought it was funny that like right as the internet is being like fuck Jubilee and fuck everything about them, like Cenk is gonna launch his Jubilee and take a bunch of shit from people who already hate him, and I'm not gonna shed any tears over that. I think it's kind of funny, even if I think that he might do decently well on there.
Yeah, I have a feeling he said he's going to be debating 10 right wingers and 10 left wingers. I have a feeling when it comes to the right wingers, he's going to destroy them.
Yeah.
And most of them are probably going to be like simping for Trump and Israel and shit like that. When it comes to the left wingers, that's probably where Cenk's going to step in shit and, say a bunch of stupid
Unless it's like
centrist garbage.
K-hivers, like, and they're supposed to be like Biden loyalists or
True.
something.
True. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It'll
Yeah.
be fun to react to. Hopefully we don't get fucking taken off air again by the fascist fucking Nazis over at whoever the fuck owns Jubilee, because that was bullshit.
What I think we'll have to do is cut like 2.5 minutes of different parts of the interview and then talk over that so that we don't get fucking flagged.
It's not just live.
Yeah, our stream got straight up taken down live. We were like, normally we'll put up with the like monetization bullshit, but they were like, fuck your stream. And then it just really screwed us in the algorithm after that. So anyway.
Yep. There's a couple more seconds here that I wanted to get your reaction to where Cenk responds to some criticism.
Doesn't agree with our philosophy. They say first you insult your viewers' concerns, then you bring on Ben. Gross. If you think that this show has not been sufficiently pro-Palestinian, I don't know that I would like some of what you're smoking. It sounds a little too powerful for me. Okay, yeah, that I'm saying you're nuts if you think that. And if you say no, you should not have diversity of opinion. Only my opinion should be stated here, whether it's yours or mine. I don't agree. I bring on people here who disagree with me. Okay, and so if you say no, I don't like it. I only want agreement. Good news, Sage and Candles.
Which is
Plenty
hilarious.
other shows.
It's hilarious that he says I bring on people who disagree with me when he's like literally fired almost everyone who actually disagrees with him, and the only people that remain are the ones who will disagree with him on Israel, or if they do disagree with him on other things, it's like with kid gloves on, as we saw Jordan Ewell being like, oh no,
Or John Idarola.
or John Idarola, yeah. So it's like, bro, there were actually people that worked for you who had real substantive disagreements and were more than happy and more than willing to get into those disagreements live on air. You basically fired them all. You basically burnt all those bridges. And even people like Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland, who challenged you to a debate publicly, you've ignored. But yeah, tell us more about how much you fetishize diversity of opinion and debate.
Give you the exact propaganda you're looking for. I mean, it'll be picture perfect. 100% of whatever ideology was cooked up by 13 folks online somewhere in the last year and a half. And you'll be like, perfect. They don't dissent at all. No one even thinks on this show. Perfect. Okay, good. You have like 1,000 of those options. Here at the Young Turks, we think, we have open minds, and we discuss things and yes, that means sometimes you agree and disagree. If you don't like it and you just want closed-mindedness, again, great news. There are dozens of shows pretending to be progressive that do that for you. Jonathan Boris Johnny says, I don't get the argument that Zoran doesn't meet the mood of now. Rogan.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh gosh, the level of projection is just insane. And
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.